again. Can you bring that closer to us a little bit? Because we seem so far away. Hello, everyone. Welcome to again another episode. We can maybe pull it down. Another episode of Not Your Typical Girl Talk. We are trying to figure out our logistics here because we look so very tiny compared to you guys. But as usual, we are here to talk about the foolishness on the internet.
Oh,
before we do so, we are going to introduce ourselves in alphabetical order.
Yes. Hello, everyone. My name is Garcia. Welcome to Not Your Typical Girl Talk. Just so you know, we are here to discuss the foolishness on these deep, dark internets. If you love a good laugh, this is the show for you. This show replays every Saturday on internet radio through Radio Regent. Thank you, Radio Regent. Syndicated through iHeartRadio. So that's Saturdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Over the weekends, but in the week, catch us here live every Wednesday, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Telly, what I want.
Ooh, girl, this week for Not Your Typical Girl Talk is going to be one of those special ones. Although the past couple of weeks, we've been having some really special moments. Hey, everyone. My name is Telly. I'm a proud member of the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. The foolishness just keeps getting more real and more real and more real. Lord Shiva. Tell who you is, Queen. Lord Jesus.
I'm happy we're still here and we haven't been canceled because Lord, what is on the internet?
So I think of the cross.
A lot. So I am Toshiba. They call me Shiba. I'm the final female member. And my partner in crime and in life is going to introduce himself.
It's Robbie 3 times. Hey, everybody. Welcome, and let's get to it.
Let's get to it in... let me start with this first one. I don't even know what there is a lot to say. Let's just say sometimes the idea that minorities should somehow stick together is lost on certain folks. And on this gentleman, it was definitely lost because he thought that, okay, well, let me just show you what is going on here and let me know your thoughts. So, for those on the radio, basically what it was a TikTok user decided to put on what was his equivalent of blackface to recreate what parents have been posting of their little girls, especially their little girls, seeing a black Ariel, and she's one of the Bailey sisters. I think she's Haley, or Halle Bailey, who will now be playing Ariel. Now, this young man is, I believe, Indonesian. Yes. And of course, Black Twitter found him. They found him posted here in his Northwestern shirt because, they went in. They also found his page, and his comment was, just woke up and my video's still up. I will stick to TikTok community guidelines. Play by the rule book. I'm not going to remove the video myself because he knew that the video was inappropriate. Rob, what did you see here in the Northwestern shirt? I thought you said something.
Oh, no, I was just wondering if he actually goes to Northwestern, he might be in trouble with that.
Well, apparently people tried to reach out to his school. They didn't get any comments to his family. And apparently his brother is getting threats. They found his LinkedIn page. I just think it is incredible for people to think that blackface is okay.
Isn't that crazy that in the year 2022, this is still blackface is still a thing? Come on now.
I'm going to play devil's advocate for a second, but why are we so damn sensitive? Who is this kid? Who flip cares what he did?
Who cares?
I'm just it's getting ridiculous. I believe in the First Amendment still heavily. I think a person, if they want to be an idiot, they have a right to be an idiot. But we done made all of these new legislations and stuff, and this, you know, pitchfork Twitter mafia and stuff like that. I mean, is it offensive? I mean, come on, absolutely. It doesn't diminish the videos of actual little black girls and what it means to them to see someone on the screen as Ariel that looks like them. And he obviously don't get it. But I mean, I think that's, we got to stop being so sensitive and then go right back to the foolishness.
Well, for me, I think it's maybe not even the sensitivity. It's the fact that now this young man is getting more attention than the actual little black girls who are reacting to this video and seeing themselves in a different way, right? Now it's blown up and there are news articles in almost every part of the world being written about him. People are putting all of this energy into finding him instead of just saying, you know what, we're going to promote and push the videos of the cutest little black girls who are just so happy and so excited. He's an asshole.
Oh yeah,
exactly. And that's my issue with it. My issue with it is, you know, and of course, obviously, this is not the first person that's ever done blackface.
And he won't be the last.
You know, and what I found is, I'm like, at least public figures have come out and said, oh, shoot, you know, my bad, I'm sorry. Even if it was performative, but they made a case saying, yeah, made a mistake, I'm sorry. This kid is actually like, he's like, ha, ha, ha. You know, he woke up the morning, saw the video still there, and he was like, I'm not going to take it down.
Well,
that's the part that bothers me. I was like, first of all, you did something that's not funny. And then second, like Donald Trump, you're like, well, no one can touch me. I'm untouchable. And that's what bothered me.
And I think he also wants to see how much TikTok is going to protect him. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't, he, like you said, play by the rules. And so it's literally on TikTok to take his video down. And if they don't strike it as offensive, maybe that would be a better place to put your anger, because TikTok is also an Asian company. So, and I don't know, again, people don't keep up on world events, but cracking jokes at black people is a big deal in Asia. Like, I don't know if we're aware of that, Black Twitter, but yeah, they get off heavily on making fun of us. I don't know if y'all saw the video of the kid in Africa making the little African kids say offensive crap in Chinese because they don't even know no better.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole real thing over there. Mm. So again, maybe if we would start speaking with our dollars instead of our Twitter fingers, we might actually move the needle. But
and that is advice I gave to someone the other day, actually. I said, you need to speak to people in a way that it counts. It counts when shareholders are wondering why they're losing profits because people are not using the platforms that they are allowing this stuff to come on. That's how we actually make a difference. Like, I'm not going to boycott this kid. I don't even know him. I don't know what his handle is. I don't really care. I haven't really gone to look for him. His name is Rupesh to something. Who knows, right? Like, didn't even commit it to memory. But TikTok itself, Instagram as a platform, Facebook, the Snapchats, all of these platforms, that's what we need to boycott, right? And take our business elsewhere because our content is their business. So TikTok, I wouldn't go on.
Especially TikTok.
Especially TikTok.
TikTok became big because of black kids.
Content
dancing, telling jokes, being funny. That's literally the bread and butter of TikTok. That is why TikTok is where it's at, because of black content creators.
That didn't get credit for their content creation.
Right. They get ripped off every day.
Yep.
So, bonfire for TikTok, I will call it there. And Rupesh, whomever, go away.
Bye.
And that's done. Someone who really thinks that they're in a relationship that will not go away is this young lady here. And let me just say, what in the delusion? Like, I know we've been talking for a while about cancel delusion. Delusion is rampant in this woman's life because let me just explain here who I'm talking about and the quote that she has. So recently, the City Girls, who are Young Miami and JT, they did a cover story for a magazine called Pop Sugar where they both talked about their relationships. Carisha, Young Miami, is in a relationship with Diddy, And I guess JT, the other girl, is what? Little Uzi Vert. So there's a quote from Young Miami, also known as Carisha, where she talks about her relationship. And I'm going to do my best to get through it because I'm just going to look at you. The American education system is deplorable because what they basically did is took exactly what she said and wrote it. And this is just horrible English, but I will do my best. So she says, people don't know us, Young Miami says about her relationship with the bad boy mogul. They don't know what the F we got going on. I'm in there like, shut the F up. Y'all don't know what we have going on. Me and him gonna be married. Boom. She went on to discuss her alter ego, saying, I'm always gonna be Carisha. I'm always myself. But you know, my stage name is like my alter ego. And I feel like when it's time to perform, or it's time to do an interview, or when it's time to give people what they want, I bring out Young Miami. So
I almost kind of wish I knew what the question was because, again, when we were reading this, I was like, wait, what? Like, that was all one sentence. Like, she said all of that in one thing. It wasn't like two different answers. It was a full paragraph. I was like, what is being Carisha versus Young Miami have to do with marrying Diddy? And what sort of, I mean, they're in a relationship, but it seems like an open one.
They are not in a relationship. She said, and I quote, we go together. He says, we go together, question mark. So she said, we go together, exclamation mark. He says, we go together, question mark. She says, yeah real bad. He says, okay, we go together.
It's kind of,
that was
you know what it's like? It's like those people that say 1 + 1 is 11. Right? Like,
girl, you will have the BET
purple.
Awards with a sign in the audience. What are we talking about?
I'm gonna tell y'all straight up, like, and this ain't even no F-boy stuff. This is just, I've said this statement many times. Men don't like being told anything. So, ladies, if you are the one that says you're in a relationship, you're not in a relationship. Diddy had his fingers crossed behind his back when he said that.
No, he wasn't even. She knew. He said, we go together. I remembered that because Rob and I were in the car, and I was dying of laughter because I said, who bullies a man?
Yes, that's true.
Into it. And I agree. Naturally Fierce says he's flattered by the foolishness. And it's true because, girl, he was just hiding the Asian girl he's been with for a while.
Right, the designer girl that he's been hanging out with.
Also, Young Miami, have you seen Cassie and Kim Porter? Because you don't stand a chance. You, young lady, with your grammar that sounds like you're still in the 5th grade, you cannot speak in meetings where he would need you to be. And quite frankly, your looks don't come close to Cassie or Kim Porter if you didn't marry either one of them or J-Lo.
Yeah, like, I'm sorry, J-Lo.
Why is he going to marry her? I'm sorry.
I mean, all these women that we're talking about, they all at one point had a ring on their finger from Diddy. Carisha, where's yours?
Man, she's going hard. That's all I can say. She's really
going hard.
She is very persistent.
She's going hard. She wants him back.
Remember, he's been engaged. That's what we said. All of the women we referred to had rings on their finger because he's been engaged to all of them. None of which he married, even though Kim Porter was the love of his life. He was in mourning when the women died. He went on stage at the BET honors and he thanked everybody. He thanked the dead woman and he thanked the married one.
That's what I'm saying.
Girl, stop it.
Who
Cancel
cares
delusion.
about them Future buys APs? He's not been married, period.
He made it
That's
clear
not
he
the
doesn't
song.
want to get married.
Right, the man is like 55 years old.
He said he's never desired marriage. He's not into it. So I don't know where she's going.
She's gonna be the outlier. That's interesting.
Because she thinks she's special.
But what part of her is special?
New world, everyone thinks they're special. Because a man spends money on you, you think this. First of all, this is Diddy. This is Diddy.
Man, he ain't gonna.
It's Diddy. That's all I'm gonna say.
She don't need a pistol to get that man to marry her.
No one is marrying her. I don't even know why she would go. But do you understand what I'm secondhand embarrassed for her.
I'm not embarrassed for her. I'm taking this all in.
Listen, if you choose to act
I
like
am
an idiot,
laughing. Exactly.
if you choose to act like an idiot, first on your podcast, then at an awards
I
ceremony,
don't feel sorry for these
now
people.
in this cover
Why?
magazine interview, I have no sympathy for you.
I have no sympathy. If she wants to make a public fool of herself, then it's more content for us. So I'm like, yo, chick, keep going. Ride this all the way. Go ahead. Because Cassie was with this man for 11 years with her good looks and her gorgeous stuff, and the man still didn't marry her. Ring on her finger, 11 years.
Well spoken. Cassie, let me just add, Cassie was well spoken. She was feminine. She was at the very least an 8 and above. Okay, depending on the man that you were talking to. She was the kind of woman who was poised that you could bring into a room and you could know that she was going to represent you well. She never spoke out about Diddy and their relationship. Like, she was a good, and he didn't marry her. So little girl with a criminal record and all of the things, again, who couldn't string a sentence better than a 5th grader. Girl, stop it. But you know what? Do you, whatever, goodbye. No one cares.
Yeah, that's the hilarious thing, though. When the thing goes sideways, Young Miami gonna be in interviews talking about men ain't this and men ain't that and men ain't the third.
Oh, God.
And of course, it's gonna be his fault.
Yeah. So, all right. Someone I wished we were a little bit done with is this person we got introduced just a few weeks ago, and he is back. And it's Bishop Lamore. He is back in the news, and I'm going to show you the video of why. Now, we looked for several angles of this video. I only have one, but we'll explain the other angles, and I will read what happened. But Bishop Lamore, in his fever, is back.
Amen. Oh, gosh. Here we go.
All right. Okay. Praise the Lord. Amen. God good. Huh? Let him go forward. Let him go forward. All right. Amen. All right, we're going to pause right here. Amen. We're going to pause right here. We're going to pause right here, right? We're going to pause right here. All right, yeah. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Come on, you want to come preach? You want to come preach? You want to come preach? Come on up here. Come on up here. Yeah, come on up here. Come on up here. I'm going to make you think here. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. Woo. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord. In the name of Jesus. In the name of Jesus. Let's pray in the spirit, y'all. Hey, glory to God. Now move her out of here. Now move her out of here. Move her out of here. Amen. Come on, let's give Jesus a round of applause, y'all. Hey, yes, Lord. Let's give Jesus a round of applause. Let's give Jesus a round of applause. Let's give Jesus a round of applause. Now let's give Jesus a round of applause. While they take pictures and they want to be on social media. Take the pictures. Take the pictures. Take the pictures. Take the pictures. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Grab her out. Grab her out. Now you go grab her out. Grab her out. Grab her out. Grab her out. Yes. Grab her. Grab her.
And it was, the funny part is that we just read this part for you. Women charged after video shows Brooklyn pastor manhandling her. So in actuality, she was charged. I'm going to read a little bit about this, and then I'm going to tell you some of the digging we ended up doing. So police were called after a Brooklyn pastor, he's actually a bishop, was seen mishandling a woman during a live stream church service. Let me just say, in this live stream church service, I kid you not, there were 12 people.
Oh, yeah.
In the church. Okay?
Oh, literally.
I counted, and actually, first I didn't count, I just said 12. I eyeballed and said 12. And then Telly we paused it and she counted, and there were 12.
It was 12.
In the live.
It was a wide view.
Wide view. They were all in the middle.
Empty chairs.
A lot of empty chairs.
And 12.
And he claims this is a mega church.
He calls it a mega church. And Rob called it a tenement church, which so proud of you for using that word. So their 12-person live stream service. Things got a little heated on Sunday with it's Bishop Lamore Whitehead of the local leaders of Tamora International Ministries in Canarsie. I don't know where that is. Canarsie, where's that? Okay, Canarsie. That's good for you, New Yorker. Sources say the incident occurred after an argument over who was filming Whitehead's service. During the service, a woman apparently interrupted Pastor Whitehead over recording concerns. As the incident escalated, he eventually invited the woman to the altar. Come on up here, I'm going to make you famous, as we heard. He encouraged the congregation to pray in the spirit as the woman made her way down the altar. Let's give Jesus a round of applause. We heard all of that. Then we know he approached her and pointed a yell towards the altar. Now, the thing about it is he claims that she was going towards his wife and his child. And because of the incident that happened the other day with the robbery, it was that he was being protective of his wife and his child. Now, we looked at a couple of different views. That's why we saw the 12 people, different angles. She did get up out of her seat and she started speaking in, what did she refer to it as her?
Oh, heavenly language.
Her heavenly language, aka speaking in tongues. So she had gotten up and she started speaking in tongues to him and she was doing the most. According to her, she's a journalist and she wanted to, after the robbery, wanted to learn more about this bishop because of the robbery. And so she went in there to record, and this turned into a kerfuffle.
Bro, shiesty though. Like, no matter how you slice it, like, this guy is shiesty. And yeah, I mean, he knows his way around the system. So of course he was gonna say it was like a self-defense type of situation. But there's also, people out there in the audience, why you don't bring trouble to people's house? Because chances are you can get something put on your ass, and they ain't gonna have no repercussions because they was at home.
That's exactly basically what I said, because I went through it because Garcia was reading it to us, and the lady actually did an interview, and so we were watching a bit of the interview, and she was explaining all of the things that she had done and why she was there and XYZ. And I said, here's my issue with that. Choices have consequences. There are different ways that you could have gone about this. My questions for her would have been, did you contact the pastor or the bishop, whatever you want to call him, and his people to actually set up a one-on-one interview with him? Or did you just go in because you wanted the hype of it all and go into his 12-person service to show that he is a fraud, which I think most people recognize, but you wanted to do an expose, and instead you got what you got. And so, as much as I do not agree with men putting their hands on women, you also, like Rob said, went into this man's house, because that is his church, and instead of going in and having journalistic integrity, which journalists have, Garcia went to journalism school, she knows, right? You decided that you wanted the hype of it all. And that's what you got.
Well, that's, look, if my best friend is in my house and he just starts yelling at me and I tell him to leave and he doesn't, I'm within my legal rights to do a number of, I have a number of recourses in getting him outside of my home, and that's where she was clearly being disruptive. I'd like to feel sorry for her, but two wrongs don't make no right.
And also, we've already determined that this man is not a pastor or a bishop. He's a gangster.
Right.
So he's going to go back to his gangster ways.
Yeah, because
Girl.
again, and that's my thing with she did a lot of things wrong here. Because she didn't have to get up out of her chair. She could have actually continued to stay and be like, I'm good. Because there's actually no law that says it's illegal to videotape a church service or any sort of public. You can take your phone out and tape any sort of public thing you want to tape. No one can kick you out. So the whole thing with her getting up out of the seat probably wasn't wise. I mean, I wouldn't have done that if I was there to collect a story or gather information, gather content for a book. But at the same time, Bishop, why do you keep on giving us clues that you are not truly like a saved man of God? Because listen, I've seen craziness in churches. I've seen people try to attack pastors. And the pastor has never made a fist. He's never slapped anyone. He will back up and there's like maybe a bodyguard or, like people that are there literally to protect. And they will come and say, you need to sit down. You need to calm down. Let's take you outside and chat, whatever. But he keeps on doing things that make me go, You're driving a Rolls Royce, you've got a Bentley, you're wearing Fendi, you're wearing Gucci suits that aren't even, girl. Anyways, the whole point is that why do you keep on doing things that show you more so as a gangster? Because a bishop wouldn't have grabbed the woman up in the back of the neck and dragged her out.
Yo, he dragged her like she owed him money.
And in that clip you don't really see, but he dragged her
like she owed him money.
I could see if he even said, "Go back to your seat."
He was in the friend's mind, or singing the Rihanna song, "Bitch, better have my money."
Took his microphone and said, "You need to leave right now. Please excuse yourself from this church." You know what I mean? If he did all that, I would have been like, "Go ahead, sir." But the way how he grabbed her up and he literally dragged her right out of the
like
sanctuary.
She was a prostitute and he was a pimp.
Like
she owed money to him. This man he's from the hood. He's gangster.
He's from the hood. Because he's laundering money through that church. Because those 12 people are paid for a $3 million home.
Oh my gosh.
12 people were in the, I don't know people were, but I can tell you there was nobody on the sides. They had the chairs out, but there were no bombs. There was no bombs.
And I'm sorry. And you're out here speaking in tongues, like going on crazy. And the first inclination you have in your mind is to grab up Haman in the back and drag them out. Sir, where is your spirit from?
Where's your Holy Ghost?
Listen, so where did it come from? Canarsie. Well, listen, gangster, bishop, pastor. I'm sure we'll talk about you again because you're still out in these streets being gangster. We will see you in a few more episodes when you do some other efforty. But until then, we're gonna have our first section of 3 minutes with Robbie 3 times. He hasn't been taking notes recently, so it's like he's a gangster all on his own. So we are gonna go ahead and do the 3 minutes, and we're gonna start with the Tiki Talker and go.
Yeah, see, here's the thing. I hope he actually does go to Northwestern because Northwestern is in Chicago, and that will just deal with it. We don't even have to worry about it because we know how they like to get down in that city. And all them dudes with black daughters probably saw that video. He on the list.
Love Chi-Town.
And,
right?
So the safest place for him is actually back in Indonesia where you can crack jokes at black people all you want because that's pretty much all races. They crack jokes on, like black jokes get cracked when there's no black people around. I think that's kind of universal because we have a reputation for moving furniture when stuff gets a certain kind of way. And that's one of the stereotypes that I enjoy about black people. It's like people are a little scared to try to play you. They're not really quick to want to do that.
Moving on to your favorite person.
City girls. I don't know if y'all been paying attention, because they kind of are the vernacular for the movement. Hot girl summer, city girls up, all that. But the City Boys have been killing it lately. If y'all haven't been, like, once I'm gonna shout out to Drizzy, because I don't know if y'all know, he is one of the best trolls ever. And it's got nothing to do with them, because I'm gonna talk about a more relevant female rapper, Ice Spice, and I don't know if y'all caught the whole Munch wave, and she was popping off of it. Drake brought her up in Toronto, followed her on Instagram, flew her back home, and promptly unfollowed her with the proof of the screenshot of her name in the search bar, and no results. So, City Boys is up. I think the City Girls are about to go on a little losing streak, and the feminine women are about to start normalizing some of this, because I think, again, it's getting too crazy. Like, look at Kendra G. You got streetwalkers calling in. It's like, yo, we got to rein it in a little bit.
Okay. Next, we're indoors. Like 30 seconds.
Yeah, speaking of reining it in, like, how is this man a pastor? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Who is actually legitimately going to his church seeking the word? And I guess the Holy Ghost move a lot differently around there. Like, he will Uncle Phil your ass. So, yeah, I don't like. After week, we see these crazy stories.
Oh no!
And it's not going nowhere. We gotta rein it in. I think that's the moral of my first 3 minutes. It's like, let's rein it in. Give me not so easy targets. Like, make me work for some of these jokes. So.
All right then. So thank you, Robbie, 3 times. Sister, talk to the people then.
Yes, not your typical girl talk where we discuss the foolishness going on these deep, dark internets. Thank you for joining us. We go live on IG every Wednesday at 9:30 p.m. And you can catch the replay of our shows. You can catch the audio on Radio Regent, syndicated through iHeartRadio. Thank you, Radio Regent. We are on Saturdays at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So check us out on there. And now we're going to move on with the rest of the show because, believe me, there is more.
The foolishness continues.
And in researching some of this foolishness, I learned a new word in my vocabulary, and that new word is bumsters. And I'm going to explain to you in this next story what bumsters mean when I read you this headline that was recently making its rounds. And that is, the Gambia Tourism Board is tired of middle-aged UK women visiting for sexual pleasures from African toy boys.
Oh. So they're German businessmen now. Okay.
So, let's read a little bit more. The Gambia community is tired of older European women coming to the nation to satisfy their sexual pleasures. According to Travel Noir, the African nation became a top destination among UK middle-aged women seeking sexual pleasures from African toy boys. Evidently, it has been a thing since the 1990s, after international travel agencies from the UK launched cheap package tours to the tiny West African country. 3 decades later, thousands of middle-aged women have visited with sex tourism intentions, causing the Gambia government to speak out on the issue. The country, a former British colony, is currently working to attract quality visitors and reverse its reputation as a sex tourism destination. What we want is quality tourists, tourists that come to enjoy the country and the culture, but not tourists that come just for sex, the director of the Gambia Tourism Board said. The country has a population of 2.5 million and grapples with high unemployment rates and low wages, so it's hard to see why a relationship with a wealthy, older Western woman is seen as a financial opportunity for the young Gambian men. The phenomenon has picked up a name for itself, bumsters. The term is used to describe impoverished young Gambian men who seek out Western women with whom they can develop a relationship, typically arranged online.
Brings a whole new meaning to once you go black, you go to Gambia, I guess.
You know what? I have a few things. So first, I'll read what Naturally Fierce has said, and she's right. They doing what men go to Brazil for, which is true. Men go to Thailand, men go to Brazil, men go to Las Vegas for specific reasons.
Sexual reasons.
Sexual reasons.
Sexual reasons.
So I think it's funny that we're now making a big deal because women are doing it. And that's the problem. If it was men going down there to get young Gambian girls, this wouldn't be even a story. But because it's women, UK women, which makes it actually funny because SNL actually made fun of this whole thing and they used Adele as the UK woman. It was actually hilarious. If you have a moment, look it up on YouTube. It's hilarious. It's her chasing down these young men. Anyway, but I think that there is somewhat of a double standard here because, again, men have been doing this for centuries, traveling, looking for young Haman, and no one has said nothing about it.
Let me tell you where
these men are making money. Leave them alone. It's a business.
No, that's the problem. They're not making money.
They're not making any money.
They're not making money.
They're cheap. They're going there and they're not spending any money. They're
So
waving a packet of Kit Kats in front of these little poor black boys and getting them to let them, do the
So they're not even
That's the difference. That's why there's a double standard. Because men spend way more money having to pursue sex than women do.
Also, I'm also going to add, for those who form, and I'm going to put this word in quotes, in brackets, genuine relationships, they're now taking men out of the Gambian workforce and bringing them back to the UK, right? So to be their pleasure boys, toy boys, whatever. But again, I put genuine relationships in brackets. So if you think about it from the Gambian government thing, all of this high unemployment rate, the money's not going back into the economy. And then third of all, if you're taking the Gambian men out of Gambia and back to the UK, you're taking out the workforce. And so the government and the country is getting nothing for all of this vast tourism that's actually happening. I do think it's hilarious.
It's hilarious.
Hilarious.
But I would like to hear from these young men as well. Like, I wish this story, I don't know if they will ever interview a man in this situation, but at the same time, I'm going to play devil's advocate. These men aren't 14 years old. They don't have to do anything they don't want to do.
But they're not even getting paid for the women to kiss up their bodies. Right. So why are they doing it?
Because that's the difference, right? Like when you go to those countries that you guys named, they're brothels. They're places where men go, and that's money then that goes back into the economy.
There's a money exchange.
Right, but why are these guys doing this?
Why are these guys not taking money first?
In Jamaica, if these women go to Jamaica, they're on the beach, they meet a Rasta man who has some supplicant or whatever, and they're strong back man, and they want to get with them. That's an exchange. It's a give to rob exchange. We're going to Brazil or the Dominican and so forth. Some of these places, the government then makes money off of the brothel makes money off of the women. And so for them, it's okay because it's going back into the economy. These women are not putting money back into the economy.
There's no budget flights to Brazil. There's no budget flights to Thailand.
No.
There's no budget flights to any of these destinations guys just stated. What did they say at the top of the article? It exploded after these packages. You can fly to Gambia, get your freak on, and don't spend no money. That's
business model.
I don't know. If there's a journalist out here that ever listens to this show, you need to go out there and interview some of these young men and find out why.
What you getting?
You're not getting any cash, so why are you doing it?
Because grown men don't have to do anything they don't want to do.
They started brothels, become a gigolo.
Like, I don't understand how.
Ask for money up front. Like, it's a business.
No, listen, I think they'll get money, but the money that they would get to compare to a younger,
like a professional worker,
exactly, or what the girls in Brazil are getting, or what the girls in Dominican are getting. Again, in our money, it may not seem a lot, but for them in their country, they're getting quite a bit.
I'm telling you, this is the government talking, just like in some of those destination sex spots. They had to crack down because a lot of people were coming there and exploiting underage people as well. I guarantee you that is the case in this story.
It's
not grown men. boys. Those are under 19, 18,
Yeah, it's
17.
disgusting.
They have no.
Yeah, it
has
can't
to
be grown
I'm
men
not.
because
Yeah.
and I
And
feel
the other part of it is the world don't pay for peeing.
That's
It
true.
doesn't.
That's facts.
It doesn't.
Facts.
That's facts.
Yeah.
there's an advantage taken.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think this story needs to be blown up more. Someone needs to interview these young men or talk to a mother of one of these young men and put it out there, because to me the story, there's a gap in the story. If I'm not hearing from a victim, I want to know, okay, fine, this UK lady, and then she flies you off to Britain, like what? Okay, you get to live in the UK, but do you actually get your papers? Are you out there and getting a job, going to university, like, or are you literally just a sex slave? So I want to hear the whole story. I feel that this is the opening of the story and we don't get to hear the full thing.
Well,
I definitely appreciate that situation, but that's why I think there is such a gap of it. Because again, this is coming from the government. If it was beneficial to the nation, do you think the government would be going hard? Because like the government ain't tripping about these trips to Brazil and stuff like that. They did back in the 90s.
Right. But the government doesn't care about these kids being 17. They care about them getting paid for sex work.
Money.
facts.
Which is a whole other story, which I want to know about.
That's the root.
And we're going to wrap this up because Robbie can talk about it in his section, because someone whose dirty laundry is being very much aired right now is someone who I actually quite like. And it's Adam Levine. So women are coming out claiming that Adam Levine, whose wife is currently pregnant, and apparently she's a Victoria's Secret model. Yes.
Yeah.
That he's been cheating on her. And this is, I guess, the first young lady that's come out. Let's hear what she got to say.
I'm just gonna rip it off because I've retweeted this like 10 times now. Essentially, I was having an affair with a man who's married to a Victoria's Secret model. At the time, I was young, I was naive, and I mean, quite frankly, I feel exploited. I wasn't in the scene,
Rob.
so I was definitely very easily manipulated. Maroon 5 is practically a lawyer music, so I'm sure you know who Adam Levine is. But Adam and I were seeing each other for about a year. After I stopped talking to him over, a period of months, this is how he came back into my life. He said, okay, serious question. I'm having another baby, and if it's a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. You okay with that? Dead serious. I was like, I'm in hell. Like, I have to be in hell. My morals were unknowingly compromised. I was completely manipulated. I handled this privately. I never wanted to come forward because obviously I know the implications that come with doing what I do, making money the way I do, and being an Instagram model. So being tied to a story like this, it's like, I know the stereotypes. I had sent some screenshots recklessly to a few friends I thought I trusted, and one of them had attempted to sell to a tabloid. So here I am.
But no one asked you to come out with your IG modeling career. Girl, sit down.
She's an OnlyFans girl. I looked her up on OnlyFans because the moment they say IG model, apparently now they're social media content creators. It's code word for OnlyFans. So Sumner Stroh is her name. She's an OnlyFans girl. Now, apparently, Adam had responded in a slight way, and he said, "A lot is being said about me right now, and I want to clear the air. I use poor judgment in speaking with anyone other than my wife in any kind of flirtatious manner. I did not have an affair. Nevertheless, I crossed the line during a regrettable period in my life. In certain instances, it became inappropriate. I have addressed that and taken proactive steps to remedy this with my family. My wife and my family is all I care about in this world. To be this naive and stupid enough to risk the only thing that truly matters to me was the greatest mistake I could ever make. I will never make it again. I take full responsibility. We will get through it, and we will get through it together." End of story, Adam Levine. Probably 3 times.
We just like to see the contrast of the two stories. The women doing nefarious stuff, they complaining ain't nobody getting paid. One man cheating done generated more money than all them bumpsters did in Gambia. You feel what I'm saying? Like, this is TMZ. Just one, Adam Levine washed up all of this, and this woman is gonna go up 150,000 followers behind the story, and she acts like she's doing it begrudgingly. That's a double standard, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's unfair. I won't never
Yeah.
sell pictures
Yeah.
of my get money for it.
I feel that the timing here, first of all, sis, poor judgment. This story should have died along with everything else you've done in your past that you're embarrassed about. This was not the time to come out and put out this foolishness video simply because you're mad that this man is growing his family, the woman that he's been married to for over 10 years and already has 2 children with.
Okay.
So, you know, you claim, okay, you guys stopped talking. He asks you about your name and wanting to use your name and whatnot. That made you want to make a TikTok to do what? Like, what did you think the outcome would be from this?
I wish I
People
knew.
saying, oh, you were so exploited. You were only 23.
23, you're a grown woman. You knew the man was married, and
Come
he knew
on.
that he was married, so I don't feel sorry for neither of them.
I feel sorry for the pregnant wife.
I feel sorry for
Thank
his
you.
wife.
Thank
I don't
you.
feel sorry for either of them.
Thank you. She just wanted to increase her OnlyFans subscription. Oh, you know, the type of work that I do, that I've actually not mentioned the type of work that and the stigma. I wouldn't have cared to go and Google her name. Had she not said that, but the moment she said that, I said, oh, so she's on OnlyFans. Google it and put her OnlyFans, and there went OnlyFans page. So she wanted something out of it because she wouldn't have mentioned it. The kind of work that I do as an Instagram model, girl.
Are we missing part that Adam's saying he didn't have an affair with her?
Well, apparently, according to her, they were physical.
So
And we don't know.
We
And
don't know.
at this point, okay, let's say it was even physical. Okay. But girl, you said it happened and you all broke up. There was no TikTok during the relationship or even after.
No.
The TikTok comes after the man says he's having his 3rd child. That's when you decide to make, like, come on, go home, sit down, go do
make your
something else.
OnlyFans sit and then leave people alone.
well, that's why
She's looking for clout. That's all she wants. She wants attention.
that's why Sheba says, what is it? Don't mess with women with nothing.
To lose, but will help you lose everything. Stop.
Exactly.
Stop messing with women who have nothing to lose, but will help you lose everything.
This is
Adam Levine has a ton to lose. This little girl only has more to gain. She's going to gain people who just want to see, let me see what Adam Levine had some of. That's what's going to happen.
That's it. Yeah.
And from what I understand, this has caused a lot of other women
to 5 more women have come out
with TikToks of screenshots of him like flirting with them online and whatever. Listen, I'm sure loads of men are out here DMing, you know, cute, hot girls online. I really think that, again, this is stupid. He's a rock star. I mean, most rock stars, for those that don't know, they flirt and they cheat. Like, that's just a part of it. And I think that these young women that are coming out and trying to make TikToks and trying to build some social media fame or whatever it is, it's ridiculous.
Off of another woman's detriment. Off of another woman's detriment. Like, what happened to the protect women and the women movement and the Me Too and we're all women? Well, because at the end of the day, they're trying to bring down another woman. This is not going to hurt Adam Levine.
Right.
His wife is pregnant.
Right. And remember, in this whole thing, she made herself look like, I'm the victim.
Yes.
I'm hurting. And it's like, you're not hurting.
Yes.
Yeah, you knew the man was married.
You knew he was married.
With children.
He's been married for 10 years.
And you still proceeded to have this physical relationship. And just now, because he's having a 3rd child, now you feel hurt that he's moving on. He's not asking you to.
And now you're showing
anything.
these old text messages from a year ago. Like,
do some green screen.
No.
Oh, you know, I'm hurt. Me and my own.
I was manipulated and
How was she?
exploited.
You were 23.
Man, where's the D pic or something like that, man? I'm like, all these texts, like, I'm signed with Adam. He's saying he ain't doing nothing with that girl. He ain't doing nothing with that girl.
I'm with you, Adam. We stand with Adam.
For real. I'm just like, yo, this is the imbalance is ridiculous sometimes on how you can come for men. You will never get canceled coming for a man. That's a double standard.
That is a double standard.
Yeah, I'm to be honest with you, in this case, from what I'm seeing, a lot of people are on the side of Adam Levine because they said, well, how do we know that he hasn't already talked to his wife about this?
That too.
How do we?
Thank
That
you.
obviously is like,
Yeah.
here's this idiot girl again on TikTok.
Yeah.
Like, we don't know because, again, this is white people business. So they're not out here writing every single thing in an Instagram post. I'm sorry, but we know how our people tend to deal with this stuff. We talked about Neo and his wife. We've talked about Erica and Safari. You know, we've talked about these couples, and they air it all out, right? But white people are different in the sense they're like, I'm putting out a statement. Here is my statement. I'm done. And my wife is fine, and she's going to go have that baby, and they're going to be fine.
That's it.
Yep.
So we're done. I just think, you know what? We stand with Adam Levine. We appreciate you. Keep doing the voice. Make your money. Take care of your wife and kids. And these women are going to go away. Because if they were smart, if they were really actually smart, they would have tried to embezzle money from him or extort him or something him to keep their mouth shut. But now, because we live in a world that everybody wants clout, they decided that this was the best way. I'm sure he could have given them a few dollars to keep their mouth shut. If so, please. But no, she wants OnlyFans followers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's all she
wants
wants.
She wants fame.
Convenience to him. It ain't stopping nothing he's doing. Not from the sounds of it, because I heard nothing about his wife. And in this day and age, look at how Neo's situation bust up. He said his wife was all bugging, taking it the same way. So I'm thinking he's handling it a little differently. And I mean, they can keep trying to run up this, like, but that's why it's like, I'll get into it in my 3 minutes. I'm gonna leave it alone.
Please do. Because we're just going to quickly go over this one because I just think this is hilarious. So I don't even want to spend long on this, but this is funny to me. And this is my good friend. She's one of my best friends in my head, Cardi B, who is now started to garnish Tasha K's bank account to collect the $3.3 million that she owes her. For those who don't know, Tasha K is a YouTuber. She's a gossiper. Really, she's a big mouth. Like,
That's all
she's a
she
big
is.
mouth.
A big mouth.
She moved to Morocco.
Chat too much.
Is that what they say? Oh, that means she also lost her husband.
Good.
I hope she lost her husband.
I hope she
That's
loses
part of her
everything.
husband's money.
I think that husband is smart. He'll make sure to leave her backside fast. That woman also good at is chatting people, so I'm glad
she
that
kept
is garnishing your mashup page. Good.
After remember we played it for those on the radio a few months ago. We played an interview where she basically said after getting the judgment against her that she was gonna pay Cardi. She ain't got no money. I ain't giving her no money, and she would not shut up about it. She kept saying it over and over and over and over and over again that she's not gonna pay Cardi. But guess what? Cardi's bank account and Offset's bank account is bigger than your bank account, boo-boo. And all they did was put together some paperwork, and now her money's being garnished. According to the court documents, she's filed the paperwork in Georgia to start the process of collection and to seize the property and assets by the blogger, which means the house she lives in, probably the car she drives, whatever it is.
I really do think she fled.
Well, if she did,
no, they're taking all that stuff.
Yeah. Now they're gonna take all of it.
Yeah, good.
That's the Cardi, yo. That's
serves her right.
Consequences for bad behavior.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
Yeah, like
she had one job.
And I do want to remind people, this is a lesson for people out there because you know, sometimes you'll either go to court or see court cases where people are like, well, I'm not going to pay nothing. I'm not doing nothing. I'm like, do you forget who you're dealing with? I mean, the judge stands for the court of law. The government knows everything about you. Do you have a social insurance number? Yes. Guess what? The tax money you were supposed to get back, the disability check you were supposed to get, they're taking that from you and they're giving it to the person you owe the money to. You cannot hide. You cannot run.
Here's the thing. It's like you can try that crap with people with less money than you.
Mm-hmm.
More money. Cardi don't need her money. She wants it.
Facts.
She wants it.
It's the principle.
Every
On
single
principle.
dime of that judgment,
principle.
even if she spends another $8 million, going after it.
It's on
Because
principle.
it's on GP at this point.
Yeah.
She asked woman to woman on the side, stop doing what you're doing. Yo, one thing I like about Cardi though is she don't really try to, she's not with that like, I'm gonna just try to cancel somebody, you know what I mean? She's gonna try to smooth it out first. But if it didn't go that way, then she gonna go the Offset way, I guess, you know. So, but they gonna get every last dime of that money she owes
As
us.
they should.
Right, and
Yeah.
this, I mean,
That's
Tasha,
not getting it, but they gonna get it.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and I think Tasha K needs to learn a lesson.
A big
I
And
do.
the fastest
Yeah,
way to
too
learn a
much,
lesson
yo.
is through losing money in your wallet.
As it should be.
Facts. And
As it
so
should be.
bye-bye millions of dollars in assets. It's been fun. Great. Hopefully bye-bye. Yeah. Hopefully bye-bye, Tasha K, because you just
Oh, I hope.
bye.
Check yourself for you wreck yourself.
That part. So we are going to go into our final
All of that.
3-minute section with Robbie 3 times. Let me go back because we are going to start with the toy boys and go.
Boys.
Not the toy boys.
Much time in the beginning, but I think that's why they call it toy. It's kind of like the double standard of like when female teachers sleep with male students, it's like shame on you.
Mm-hmm.
Male sleeps with a female student, he goes directly to jail, do not pass go. It's a big differential in those. And so I think this doesn't hit, but if you have a 16-year-old Gambian son, it does. It's a little different then.
Facts.
Because young boys ain't got no business dealing with grown women because they're not emotionally ready for it.
Facts.
And I'll just leave it there. And again, it's coming from the top, you know, like, yeah, you know, we're not talking about professional sex. We're not talking about like the girl that's trying to air out Adam Levine, you know, she's with it. You know, she's on time at the brothel. You know what I mean?
There we go.
That's what I'm saying, you know, like the world doesn't buy this. It doesn't. You know, I go out there with a sign, free peanut, I'll be just standing out there all day. That's the
And she was like, she was smiling.
Yeah. That's how it is. And again, she gets to benefit from trying to wreck this. And that's why I call cap on a lot of this girls rock and all of that stuff, because y'all get at each other in really nasty ways a lot of the times, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like this, total disregard for the other woman involved in the situation. You ain't, and at first it's mad old, you know, you're trying to bring up some more stuff, that's why we know you clout chasing, but it is not like you're doing this, like trying to look out for the other woman. Like that's the only kind of like if you were sleeping with a man, you didn't know he was married, and then you tell his wife, I can respect that. I can respect that. That's a sister code thing. This is trying to up her followers.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, my best friend in my head, Cardi B.
Yeah, Cardi's awesome. We love Cardi. You know what she being. Look, Cardi has the biggest birth to be ratchet out of any of the female rappers, because she's just being who she is. You know what I'm saying? I think all of the rest of them are personas. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
That's actually her name, Cardis. Like,
Right.
ghetto as hell.
With a sister.
But, you know what I'm saying? That girl tried to play her, and she getting what happens on the other side of that Cardi up. And she's like, I'll spend $8.3 million to get your $3.3 million because you shouldn't have played with me. And I'm all for that type of energy.
All of that. And with that, Kelly, talk to the people down.
Oh, what a show. This was awesome. As usual, we are the Not Your Typical Girl Talk crew. We are trying every week to make sense of the foolishness on the internet, and it's always hilarious. And this week was no different. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. You can catch up with this episode and all of our other award-winning episodes on iHeartRadio. That's right. Thank you to Radio Regent seeing our greatness. They said, oh my gosh, we have to get these four gorgeous people on iHeartRadio. So Radio Region went all the way. So thank you, Radio Region, for giving us a platform to iHeartRadio. You can go on there, find us, Now You Can Go Girl Talk. You can watch all of our past award-winning performances, award-winning segments where we discuss and try to dissect this crazy thing called Blue Ivy and Beyonce's Internet. Find us also on Facebook and on YouTube under the same name, Now You Can Go Girl Talk. And catch us here every Wednesday at 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. We go live. Come on in and join us. We'd love to have you. We got Persia, I'm Telly. We got Queen Sheba. We got Robbie 1, 2, 3 times. Till next time, y'all better catch this now. Because when we're all on Disney Plus or Amazon or Netflix, you're gonna be the ones to say, oh my gosh, remember when they were on IG Live and now look at them now. Yes, y'all. Listen, Krisha ain't got nothing on the four of us. What? Come on now.
That part.
See y'all next week. Hey, what's that? Yes, no.
See you next week, everybody. Bye-bye.